On each trip to Milan, a sure culinary highlight is my dinner at Trattoria del Nuovo Macello. I never go on my last night, as it takes a long time from Via Lombroso to get back to my hotel, and I don't want the enjoyment to be impaired by having to get up early the next morning. And each time, the anticipation as to what will be on the menu increases as I approach the trattoria. Just after I'm seated in the cozy dining room and after my water order has arrived, the bread selection materializes. Aside from the white and dark nut bread, there's always focaccia and carta da musica. This year there was also a little bowl of 4 polpettine, or meatballs. Paola highly recommended the antipasto della casa, and I know to instantly accept her advice. I'll show you through the 5 selections in clockwise order. Mondeghili, a nod to an old Milanese culinary tradition. Very different from classic meatballs, the beef is braised and then ground and mixed with mortadella containing liver, sometimes salsiccia, then more expectable ingredients like parsley, breadcrumbs, nutmeg, garlic, and grana, depending on the recipe. Above the mondeghili, what was billed as Torino and Tokyo, raw Piemontese beef wrapped in nori with wasabi, an unusual but in my opinion very successful Italian-Japanese fusion dish. In the center of the antipasto slab was a bowl of red tropea onion puree with toasted sunflower and linseeds, raw shrimp, and raspberries. Next, in the top right corner, was a tonne of red beets with minced tuna, anchovies, capers, and carta da musica. And finally, in the front on the right, raw wild trout with zucchini tagliolini, salmon roe, and salsa verde. Not a full meal, just a sensational starter to get me blissful, grateful, and ready for what was yet to come. Next up was my primo, a risotto with flame-roasted red peppers, parmigiano riserva, and hazelnuts, perfumed with lavender. My wine had indeed been served before the antipasto, Paola having vetted my choice after my menu was finalized. It was a Vino degli Orti, made from Friulano and Malvasia Istriana grapes from the Tercic winery near Gorizia in Friuli. It went perfectly with antipasto, primo, and secondo, but I was so transported by the food that I forgot to film even one glass of the bottle, much as I enjoyed drinking it. Then came my secondo, triglie filettate in guazzetto, or red mullet fillets, with green beans, chanterelles, and abundant slices of black truffle. Baked in a delicious sauce, the fish was so fabulous I was unable to refrain from emitting rapturous sounds. While my pleasure was looked on favorably by Paola and the rest of the staff, 2 ladies who'd merely had an antipasto and a primo at a table just across the aisle may have taken a different view. Knowing I was well within earshot, the one said to the other with disapproving envy, "Look at him! He's had an antipasto, a primo, and a secondo, and now he's going to order a dessert." Wrong. I had 2 desserts. First, I stepped outside for a quick breath of fresh air. Then, Paola brought me dessert number 1, pistachio ice cream sitting in a pool of liquid dark chocolate adorned with salted pistachios. And then came the second dessert, a steamed ganache of guanaja chocolate serving as pedestal for a sorbet of figs and curry, with a fig sitting demurely on the side. The 2 ladies had already left by that point, so I was unable to give them the satisfaction of telling them I was very full after my 2 desserts. The desserts were assisted by a glass of a winning Moscato di Siracusa Aulos from Blundo near Siracusa. There were still a few other guests in the restaurant, but by the time I'd finished my Moscato, I was, as usual, the last one there. Before I left, I was able to get a photo of Paola, without whom the Trattoria del Nuovo Macello would be unimaginable. That's Paola in the middle. On her right is Romina, originally from Puglia, and on her left, Sabrina, originally from Morocco, both of whom also contributed to my wonderful evening. It may be a long bus ride back to my hotel, but I seldom sleep better than after my dinners at the Trattoria del Nuovo Macello.